Hopefully the computer still works. We had an interesting run-in with the computer right before this whole thing started. I've never heard a computer rev before. Like literally like I have heard it now. So no, welcome to the show. Welcome to the KGGO studio. We're glad you're here, and I hope this is as fun for you as it will be for me.
Oh,
so.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be here, man.
All right, Jonah, let's start here. How and why did you get into this lovely art of the paranormal? At what point were you like, you know what, sitting around in a dark room by myself with a recorder and talking to nobody sounds like a good time?
This sounds great. Oh, well, let's see. Go cliche route. The cliche route would be I've had experiences my entire life, and it just eventually drew me to it. The real answer is me and my best friend Matt. We were watching Ghost Adventures and had enough.
That's the one with the bro dude, right?
Yeah, the bro
Zach,
dude. Bagans.
Who, okay, to stop you there for a second.
Okay.
For a dude that's like big and ripped up and acts like he's real tough, the tiniest mouse fart sends that guy out of a house, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm wrong here, but.
I was watching it last night, and he was at a place, and a little pebble fell, and he just wigged out. I was like, come on.
No, I understand. So that's how you guys got into it.
Yep, and we were like, let's try it for ourselves. So we did that.
Where did you go for your first one?
We sat right there in Matt's room at his old house, and we pulled out our phones and started recording on our phones. And
did you get anything?
Yeah, we caught our first EVP, and we were like, wow, this is real.
What did you get? I mean, okay, so where's this house at? What town?
Newton.
Newton.
Yep.
Okay, well, there you go. That's your answer as to why. Weird things happen in Newton after dark.
Oh, yeah.
I actually, you know what? You say that. I have a great ghost story from Newton where I saw something and I just, yeah.
I have a lot of stories from Newton.
I bet. Some of mine are sober and some are not.
Yep, I could agree with that.
So what did you guys get on your first time out?
So, like I said, we were sitting there watching Ghost Adventures. We turned it off. We're like, let's try this ourselves. We started recording on our phones. We sat there for probably 45 minutes. We go back and forth, like 5-minute little sessions. Finally...
Can you say it? Let me ask you that. Or is it going to be a swear?
No, I can say it. It's just, it still gets me. It whispers, what's in there? And
what's in there?
What's in there? I'm not sure if that recorded or not, but
well, I just wanted people to be able to hear. So
that's the way it sounded, though. It was like it was forcing a whisper out. And what I think it was relevant to is in his room there was 2 cabinet doors on the bottom of the wall.
Okay.
And people walked in that room. And curiosity, why is there cabinet doors on the wall on the bottom?
Okay, so you think
what's in there, and that's the only thing that we could think of that that would be relevant to. But it ended up following us to a couple investigations. That first couple that we did, we caught that same EVP at different locations.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
So that's really what got us started into it. And then we were slow starting.
Yeah.
But within the last year, we've really just kind of picked up a lot, and things just kind of took off.
Okay, so, at some point you guys think, want to go sit in dark rooms, want to be ghost hunters, right? Or ghost investigators, paranormal investigators, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
How long from that point to let's start a team? Let's get a team of people to sit around in the dark.
A couple months.
Really? That's all it took?
Yeah, it was just him and I starting. And then my other best friend, Johnny, came on probably a little less than a year later. He joined us.
Okay.
So it's been the 3 of us for almost 4 years. And then as of this year, my girlfriend, Kylie, she now is a part of the team as well.
Who is an up-and-coming YouTuber, right?
Yes.
You want to shamelessly plug her channel?
It would be under Kylie4 or Kylie Cade with 2 E's. So that's the way you can find that. It's Fuller and Kylie.
This is how you get a really good welcome home tonight.
Yeah.
All I'm trying to do is help you out, Jonah.
Thank you. I appreciate
so
it.
JPR comes around like 4 months after this. What was, where did you guys start in smaller locations and get, called into residences? Did you just decide, hey, we're going to go, we want to go do this place? Or what was your thoughts when it was getting into the investigation part? How did you pick and choose?
So it was It was all self-done.
Okay.
There wasn't a whole lot of research involved in it. The first investigation we ever did, I was just driving down First Avenue in Newton, and the house caught my eye. And I was like, that's going to be my first investigation. And I just simply went and knocked on the door, and one thing led to another. Next thing I know, we're investigating that place. And
okay, let me ask you this. When you walked up to this random person's door, what was the first thing you said? It was like, hi, ma'am or sir, just passing through. I think your house is haunted. Like, what did you say to these people?
It was more so like, this is what I do. This is who we are. I'd like to get an opportunity to investigate your house. What it was, it's a business. So it was
a business.
Yeah, he had a business in the parking lot, and then inside the house was actually apartments.
Okay.
And there was only one guy living in the apartments. So, we were able to work around his little section of the house and had the rest of it to
what was his first? It was a gentleman you spoke to.
Yep.
What was his first reaction to this?
He was all for it.
Really?
I was shocked.
Did he have? I mean, did he have history or
No.
anything going on in the house?
Honestly, he wasn't very involved in it. He was not
Really?
very involved. He talked to me. He heard me out. But he didn't really ask much questions. It seemed like he knew what it was that we were trying to do, and he was all for it. I mean, I was shocked. I was nervous, Well,
it takes a pretty big set to walk up to somebody's house or their business and say, "Hey, I'm new to this. Want to sit around in the dark after hours while you're not here,
right?
And run cameras."
Yep.
I mean, there's been a fair amount of pornography shot like that.
Oh, I can imagine in Newton, probably.
But you know what I'm saying, though. I mean, that's a pretty big leap when you're new to the business.
Yeah, it really was. It was. I was nervous. I'll admit that.
Can you say where it was, or
yeah? So, I don't know.
If you don't want to, don't or can.
The best way I can explain it is it's the big red brick house behind Goodwill off First Avenue.
Okay.
So,
Well,
as far
you
as
said
business,
it was part business, so I didn't know if it was.
I don't know if it's even open to business anymore, to be honest.
Okay.
So I haven't been around that part of town for a while. So
did you catch something?
Yeah, we actually did.
Really?
We heard our first disembodied voice in that basement.
And what was that like?
Terrifying.
What did it say?
Hey guys.
That's it?
Yep.
And what did it, if you're going to put a sound to it, did it sound like, just me over here? Hey guys.
Yeah. Yep. We were in the basement, and we were running a spirit box session. We kept hearing these noises, so I muted the speaker.
Okay.
And we're sitting there listening for these noises that we thought we heard, and hey guys, just come from the back room. And we're the only people in this house. I know that. We've been there for a few hours. We know we're the only people in that house.
Was there kind of that creepy vibe going into the house? Did it feel like a haunted house? Did it feel like just someone's regular house? I mean,
I think it was more creepy because it was our first investigation.
Okay.
I think we were
you
both
didn't
nervous.
Want to shatter that guy's urn or vase or
yeah.
Did you go through his refrigerator?
No.
Why not? His medicine cabinet or anything?
The first floor was actually like his office, so he wasn't living there. He lived off location somewhere else. But the other places, the other parts of the house were empty because they were made into apartments. There was 3 separate apartments, and they were all empty. So, and then there was the one guy's house or apartment, but we didn't go in there. So,
is that a house you'd go back to?
I'd like to. Just to say that we did, since we're a little bit more seasoned, I'd like to say, in doing this. Probably.
Just so you go back through his medicine cabinet?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't even know if the guy still owns the place. I don't know.
You just walked up to his house at one point. Why don't you just do it again?
I could. That's a possibility. Hey, do you remember me? It's been a while, but I had hair back then.
Hair, a lot less gray,
Yeah.
Jonah Jones from Jones Paranormal Research joining us in on The Haunting of KGGO.com. You brought up the spirit box.
Yep.
First of all, let everybody know exactly what a spirit box is.
So a spirit box, in layman's terms, it scans through radio frequencies at a certain rate or at any rate that you can choose that allows you to. And it's the snippets of vocal sounds that come through that can be manipulated by spirits to speak. So basically the best way I explain it is the way Bumblebee talks in Transformers when he uses the radio.
Uh-huh.
And he's able to talk to whatever his name is.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
LaBeouf. It's somewhere in that neighborhood. I'm not sure if I'm close.
That's better now with LaBeouf.
Okay.
So that's the best way I explain it. But there's a hidden thing about spirit boxes, and that's to have a digital recorder going when you have them on, because you don't. About 80% of the time, you don't hear what comes through that spirit box.
Yeah, because it's.
Well, not even that. The whole purpose of it is to allow spirits to communicate better. Because if you've been in the field for a while, you understand that catching EVPs, the spirits have a hard time talking.
Uh-huh.
And it seems like they can't fulfill what they're trying to say sometimes. Huh?
I'm kidding.
I didn't even hear what you said.
I said, well, they're fake. So.
Oh, well.
I did that too.
I fake everything. That's on camera.
We might be able to talk about that because that comes up in paranormal investigations sometimes.
Does.
So, it helps them talk. It helps them communicate. I'm still, on the investigations that I've gone on, I'm still a little... I don't want to say I don't trust them or I don't believe them or whatever. I'm not sure what I think of them, and that's why I think it's interesting you bring up the spirit box. What's the best piece of evidence you ever received from a spirit box?
From a spirit box, okay, that's a hard one.
Well, I mean, is there one out there that it's like, hey, Joe, not what's going on tonight?
I have actually got stuff like that, more than you would think. The first time I ever turned on the spirit box, I got my name. That's actually on video.
Like out of the box, put the batteries in. Jonah.
Yep.
Jonah.
That's on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your YouTube channel?
It's just look up Jones Paranormal Research right on YouTube. You'll find it.
All right. We'll put some links to that up. Spirit box aside, what's your next favorite tool in the field?
Digital recorder.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm telling you, when you're alone in a room and nobody else is in that room and a voice comes through, that it's.
I know exactly because we were out on one and there was no little girl there. There was no 10-year-old girl on this crew, but I have a recording of a 10-year-old girl or 9 or 10 or whatever, and it's like. Okay, whatever you say. So,
you can't be. I mean, it's literally exhilarating. And it's terrifying at the same time because you're like, no one was in there. Especially before Kylie came on the team, it would just be us 3 guys.
Yeah,
there's no females. Why am I picking up female voices?
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere.
Well, let me ask you this: the first time you went back through your evidence. How terrified were you that you were going, like you want to get something, but it's almost a point where it's like, I don't need this in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, did you have that feeling the first time?
Not the first time. It's definitely, it's a little nerve-wracking going back through it.
Okay.
Because you don't know what to expect.
Okay.
You really have no idea. To be honest, though, we didn't catch very much at our first investigation, but we had some things.
Okay.
And it was enough for a good first investigation. As we kept doing it, though, we started getting, we jumped. We had a couple investigations in Newton and then went straight to Villisca.
Which we covered on the last show.
Yeah.
Axe Murder House, for those of you paying attention at home.
And that was...
What was your experience at Villisca like? Because I've had, in the different people I've talked to, like you go back to the first show with Seth and Jesse, who you know from CCPI.
Yep.
Jesse has one of the darkest, most just horrible stories of what can go wrong in the world of paranormal investigating. And then I've had people that are like, oh, it's, it is what it is. We got some EVPs, some stuff, nothing crazy. What's your...
Villisca's evil.
Okay. Now,
I'll just jump out right there and say it. I got attached. I got an attachment from that place, and it messed me up pretty bad. I became very sick from it.
Okay.
And it was a hard battle. It really was, but I overcame that, and I went back a second time to face it face to face, and I think I like to say that I won, but it didn't. I ended up getting marked.
But this is all an elaborate trap.
Yeah.
Jonah!
Yeah, it ended up with me getting marked, but I felt better when I left.
What do you mean marked?
I had three or four, I can't remember, major, long, huge scratches down my back.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like, metaphysical marking or...
Oh, I do have a physical marking because of that thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Is it anywhere we can see or...
Yeah.
No, it just... Oh, okay. You got the...
It's a demonic insignia from the demon that followed me home from that place.
So you knew name and all that then?
Yeah, I saw it.
And its rank?
Yeah. 66th President of Hell.
Huh. Yeah, you want to have a really goofy night of reading. Read about demons and their ranks in hell.
I believe that's correct. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I believe that's correct.
But you know what I'm saying, though. You start reading some of that's like
crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy. See, I don't
First
really believe in
Lieutenant
all
Colonel.
of it. Yeah, I don't really believe in all of it, but I mean, I saw it in my dreams, and I can't deny what it did to me. I was sick, man. I was seeing things. It was bad. So yeah, the whole purpose of the tattoo though was a test. It was like, if you're gonna do something, let's do it. Let's be real about it. So that's why I got the tattoo.
So you're challenging the demon.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. And you're still here.
Yeah, and I'm fine. I'm level-headed.
I'm fine. Walk with a slight limp.
Yeah.
Horrible hemorrhoids. Oh, Jonah Jones.
If you only knew.
Oh, no, believe me, I'm getting up in age. I'm starting to find out. Jonah Jones from Jones Paranormal Research, JPR. What's the easiest way for people to find you?
Facebook, Jones Paranormal Research. YouTube, Jones Paranormal Research.
All right.
It's very simple.
All right. I know that you have a history with Farrar.
Yep.
I know that you have a history with Villisca. But I know that you have a history with Edinburgh.
I do.
Edinburgh Manor out in...
Scottsgrove, Iowa.
Scottsgrove, Iowa, east of here, correct?
Yep. It's
east and kind of north?
It's about 20 minutes away from Anamosa, I want to say.
Okay.
So.
Now, the reason I want to bring this up is because Edinburgh, everybody's heard of Villisca. I think people are starting to hear more about Farrar. A little bit. You'd agree with that, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's famous, but it's kind of Malvern Manor, that joint out in Manila. I'm trying to think.
Klondike Hotel and the school.
Yeah. Clear Lake. The
only thing I know up there is a surf ballroom.
Yes, that one.
Okay.
But Edinburgh, it's this joint that is starting to get a little bit of traction. People are hearing more about it. And frankly, I haven't heard a good story. Like, they're great haunting stories. They're great paranormal stories. They're not good stories, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like, I know one dude that he was, like, out after going to Edinburgh a few times. It's like, I'm done with this joint. Give us a little bit of the history about Edinburgh.
A little bit of history, the best I can give you, is it's over a 150-year-old mental facility.
What else do you need right there?
Yeah.
I mean, you think of like the darkest place you can think of, or I should say that like a vacuum for good vibes. Hospitals, mental institutions, nursing home, that kind of stuff, just because of the nature of it.
There's good there.
There is good. And I don't want anybody to think that I don't think hospitals are good or anything like that.
I mean Edinburgh. I'm saying Edinburgh. There's good there, but
I haven't heard about it. I really have not. So 150-year-old mental institute, 150-plus-year-old mental institution out in where?
Scottsgrove, Iowa.
Scottsgrove, Iowa. Tell us a little bit about your experiences there.
First time we went there, I had never experienced nor heard as many disembodied voices in one night, in one investigation as I did there. I mean, it was like they were trying to just scream at us.
Really?
The whole night. It was insane. We had 2 motion sensors, one set up on the first floor and one set up on the second floor. And after review, I counted 16 times that those motion sensors went off without us interfering with them at all.
Really? So it records the time that something trips it?
They were recorded by my digital recorder.
Okay.
So listening back on the audio and then hearing them go off throughout the course of the review of audio.
What was it about Edinburgh that drew you there?
It was a mental facility, and it was really the only one in Iowa. It was close. So I mean, that's open to investigations. Now, I'd have to say that it's the spirits that are there and the energies that come from there. Really? I like to call myself a sensitive, and it's not quite a medium. I can just feel them around me, and depending on what they want me to feel, I can feel emotions as well. I can't like see them or speak to them in that way, but they really are just, it's overwhelming.
What is it about that place that has made it what it is today?
I think the history.
Really?
I really do, and I think that the spirits wanted it to be that way.
What do you mean?
I believe that spirits have a lot of control over things that happen in our world.
Okay.
They have a lot of influence, and they can pick and choose who starts things and where it goes.
Okay.
And here's a story for you.
All right. Give me a story. I
did a private investigation in Spencer, Iowa.
Okay.
Guy called me back in 2014. He called me. I sat on the phone for 2.5 hours with him, listening to him talk. And I felt it, that it was real. Like this was a thing. This guy wanted help. And during that conversation, I asked him, I said, how did you find out about me? And there's a website, I think it's called paranormalsocieties.com. It's like a yellow pages for ghost groups. Hundreds pages of ghost groups, especially just like in Iowa and surrounding.
Well, that was a thing for a while. You had to have a ghost group.
Right. And he picked me, a J, alphabetical. He goes to the J's out of hundreds and picks me, writes my name and number down, and he puts it in his wallet. He goes to work, and he's talking to a coworker. His coworker goes home, does some research, comes back to work the next day, had written my name and number down on a piece of paper and gave it to him.
Really?
And he pulls out his wallet and says, wow, and shows the guy. They both wrote my name and number down. I mean, what are the odds of that? I ended up going. I did that investigation. We spent 2 days there, and I asked them. I had to. I asked them, I'm like, did you choose for me to be here? And if so, why? And I got an EVP that said, reliable.
Really?
Yep. So ever since then, that just proved to me that they can pick and choose things.
Okay.
And they have a lot more control. And that gets proven to me a lot more and more.
What was it about, and we're kind of floating away from Edinburgh, but
I just had to say that story.
No, you're fine. No, that's a great story. What was it about that place that they wanted, other than reliable, what was going on there?
With the owners?
Yeah.
So what they wanted, their son was having a lot of interactions, and a lot of things were going on that they weren't understanding.
Okay.
That it just was not in their mindset to understand it.
See,
so
and
they reached out. And they understand now.
that's how I think a lot of people kind of dive into this stuff. I think there's a couple different ways. I think people are either generally curious and just, hey, cool, it's fun to read about, fun to watch shows, whatever. I think there's, people that are something happens to them and they either dive right into it to kind of find an answer, or it never happened.
See, I'll admit, we started out as kind of thrill chasing. I mean, that's what it was.
And that's what it sounds like with a lot of people, that they're like, this is going to be cool. I want to be scared.
Yeah.
I want something to happen.
But now it's a passion, and I focus on spirit communication. I just love it. I think it's the coolest thing in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
If you were going to, like, favorite moment.
Favorite moment?
Yeah.
As far as experience or spirit box?
Experience. Let's go that way.
Favorite experience.
Is it one of those? Let me ask you this: is it one of those things where there's just so many of them?
Yeah, there really is, and that's the truth. There really is just a lot of experiences.
Okay.
It's like flipping through a book, and it's like
okay,
stop.
and then as soon as you say one, you think of another one,
Yep.
and it's okay. Going back to Edinburgh, then.
Yep.
Best moment there that you've had overall all your. How many times have you been there?
I've been there twice.
Twice. Okay.
Yep.
And I hold up 2. All right.
That's beautiful.
For the people that are watching on video, I just held up 3 fingers and I said 2.
That's beautiful.
So favorite moment there, just, the one, thing that really stands out, best piece of evidence and darkest moment in Edinburgh.
All right. I'd have to say.
I know that's like 3 questions.
I'd have to say my favorite moment it was our last one. And something, and I don't know what this could have been or where it came from, but something with inside the building while we were all standing there slammed so hard that it shook the whole building, and it's caught on audio.
Really?
It's technically caught on video, but it was a stationary camera, so I mean it doesn't show.
Was the camera inside or outside?
It was inside.
Play devil's advocate. Is there anything around Edinburgh that would have caused that, like someone, a crane dropped or
Corn?
Really? That's it?
Yeah, I mean there's a couple buildings, but it's nothing.
What would you
on.
like it to? Like door slamming?
Like a big metal door slammed.
Really?
Or even like a vault door freaking fell over.
Okay.
Onto the ground, just
wow, that big.
Yeah, it was massive. I mean, it vibrated our bodies. And if you listen to the video on YouTube with headphones, especially ones that have bass, you can really understand like how deep and loud this really was. I mean, it was nuts. It was freaking nuts.
Were you guys beginning or ending the investigation?
It was about mid. It was about midway.
At that point, does everybody look around and go, "Nah"? No,
we were in shock, but we were excited because it's been a while.
Come on, I'll buy you a beer.
Yeah. You got issues, man. Let's just go get some beer and talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. All right. What was the next one on that list? Best piece of evidence.
Best piece of evidence. Best video evidence. I got my shorts tugged on in the children's room. So that was pretty cool. The weird thing about it is I didn't notice.
Like tug or what?
You can see clearly in the video that the shorts they come out. They extend as if something kind of just took their finger and pulled it out a little bit. But I didn't feel it. But we were in the children's room, and it's on audio. I kept mentioning over and over. I keep getting this static feeling on my legs.
Okay. So
when I went back on my video and I saw that, I was like, wow. Never caught anything like that. So on video. As far as audio goes, I mean, just all the disembodied voices.
Really?
They're just incredible.
Okay.
Because it's one thing to hear it in person, but to have captured it and be able to listen back and be like, I heard that in real time.
No, I understand. Would you go back to Edinburgh?
Oh, yeah. 100,000 more times.
Really?
Yeah. If I could live there for a month, I would.
Ooh. Probably not running showers or water or anything like that, right?
It's all right. I'll go old school. That's how they did it when it was a poor farm.
Jonah Jones from Jones Paranormal Research. JPR, if you want to find them, they are on Facebook.
Yep.
And they have a YouTube channel. Just search Jones Paranormal Research. We'll put some links on the page here. As we get towards the tail end of this, I know you want to talk about Farrar. And truth be told, in some questions I sent you, you talked about there was a very scary moment at Farrar for you.
Yeah.
Involving the rushing of a spirit.
Yep.
What happened? Set us up.
All right.
Was it a dark and stormy night?
No. That was the first time I went to Villisca. Tornadoes.
Really?
Yeah, tornadoes everywhere. Green sky. It was beautiful.
You know what, guys? I'm getting the feeling that this may not be a great idea.
It was either go in the cellar or stand outside. I was standing outside. So, Farrar, a couple weeks before the building engineer, William Conkle, I was upstairs in the auditorium with him, just kind of checking the place out, and his wife, Jacqueline, and I was standing about middle of the auditorium. He was probably a good 25 feet away from me, and it was getting dark. There was light coming through, and I was seeing this apparition stand in front of Will.
Okay.
I reached out to Will. I was like, "Hey, man, are you okay?" Because I was seeing this thing, but I didn't want to say anything. It's like, I don't want to sound crazy. What is that? And I said, "Are you all right?" And he goes, "Yeah, man, this thing's just standing right in front of me, though." And I was like, "You gotta be kidding me, man." And it's, I don't know if you've ever met Will. He's a tall guy, really tall.
Yeah.
And this thing lunged at him. Okay,
really?
And just goes right through him. And I couldn't believe I saw this, okay? And he's laughing about it. Will's laughing about it. I mean, he jumped back, but he's laughing about it. Me, I'm just freaked out, and that stuck with me. A couple weeks later was our investigation. And we were more focused on personal experiences because of that. I was like, okay. We're going to basically drop the equipment, and we're going to do this with our bodies. We only ran a couple of sessions with the spirit box that night. But all four of us were in the principal's office. I'm kind of starting
and I don't mean to interrupt you. If you haven't been to Farrar, the way it's kind of set up, picture big old brick building, like just a regular school. When you go in the front, if I remember right, you go up a large set of large set of stairs that goes up, and there's some that go down, correct?
Yep, some that go down to the main area, and then the gym is one lower.
And then the
up first floor, and then second floor.
Yeah, the second, I guess it would be, depending on how you do it. But the first floor is there, and then you go up to the third floor, and the principal's office is at the west end of the building.
If you're facing the building, it would be,
if I remember, north, excuse me. But then there's like this really weird little staircase that goes
up to it,
and then there's the principal's office.
Yep. And so I'm standing about midway on that staircase up to the principal's office.
Okay.
I got Johnny behind me, and then Matt's sitting down in the principal's chair, and then behind Johnny is Kylie. And I'm looking down the hallway, and at the end of the hallway, right in front of the stairs that go down, I'm seeing this black mist. Maybe I'm seeing it again. I'm just crazy. Cuckoo. I don't know. Who knows?
The crazy eyes you had there just led me to believe I'm not safe in this room right now.
and so I'm looking at it, and I just was like, okay, if you're really down there, why don't you run at me as fast as you can? Probably the worst thing I've ever said in my life, because what I saw was real. Johnny didn't see it.
Really?
Kylie wasn't seeing it until I said that.
Why don't you run at me?
As fast as you can, and it did. And the way I can explain it is it sounded like somebody massive ran through about ankle-deep water down that hallway.
It sounded like water.
That's the best way. Like the sound of rushing, it just echoed the hall.
Okay.
And it came at us, and we didn't see it until it got about right here. Johnny and Kylie both, they saw it then, came right in front of me.
You did the scene from Ghostbusters at the very beginning. Okay, what's our plan? Get her. The librarian at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
that's where you got that plan. Admit it. Maybe. Why don't you run at me as fast as you? When has that ever been a great idea?
Right then and there. I decided at that moment that was the perfect time for that to happen.
And you paid for it.
I did. And
now you're actually thinking about it, thinking, yeah, dumb.
That was stupid. No, that was intense. The best way that me, Johnny, and Kylie were to explain it is when that thing came at us, it was almost like we flew back. And
Really?
I can't even remember if, to be honest, if I ran, jumped, what I did. But I'm a big guy. Like I'm a big guy, and
It's not that big. It's like 5'2", maybe about 20.
And
For those of you that don't see him on video, listen, he's not a big guy. He has little man syndrome.
Little man syndrome.
I'm a big guy. What are you talking about?
That's the funniest thing I've heard all day.
You've never heard little man syndrome before?
No, saying that I'm little man.
Oh,
syndrome.
okay. I was like, really? Okay. Maybe you had to get out of the dark rooms and...
Let's go read something. No.
Wait, what?
I ended up...
So this thing rushes you down the hall.
Yeah.
Was that the beginning of the night or...
That was kind of towards the end, actually.
Really?
Yep.
When have you gotten your best result? Maybe at Farrar, but over the course of the night, is it, like the beginning of the night, middle of the night, end of the night? When do you get your best results?
There's no specific time.
Really?
And what I've noticed, it kind of varies on location. So
okay, Farrar. Take Farrar.
About 4 in the morning.
4 in the morning?
Yep.
And why would it be 4?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, think about that. I mean, if this is spirits from, whatever. Do you you know what? Do you think this is something that used to be human or something else?
I think there are things there that are human, but I also...
Then why are they up at 4 o'clock in the morning?
I don't know. Why am I?
I used to do a morning show. That's why I was up.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
But I am too.
Okay.
Just different levels.
Nice. Fist bump. If you can reach, because you're a little guy.
Little guy, short arms. I'm like a T-Rex.
All right. So, okay, Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. Both times I went, dead at 2. I have no idea why.
Really?
And no pun intended. But,
Villisca?
That can be all day and all night.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Johnny Hauser can attest to that as well. I mean, he's investigated that place.
I don't know who Johnny
times.
Hauser is, and I don't care.
Really?
The name actually sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't place him.
Johnny Hauser and Seth, they were like booth-angs in the beginning, man.
Who? Seth?
Yeah.
From?
Olney?
Oh, it was. Oh, okay. Never mind. I know who you're talking. I thought you were talking
Johnny
about
Hauser is the guy that basically runs Villisca.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's why that name.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, "Are you talking about a TV show?"
Mm.
And then I was like, I'm going through my head of all the different ghost shows. I'm like, Seth and Johnny. Nope, not coming up with anything. Okay, so we're on the same. I'm just an idiot, is what that came down to.
But yeah, that place is like all day long.
Okay.
But Edinburgh, I don't know why. Both times we went, it was dead at 2 o'clock in the morning. First time we tried everything we had for 2 hours to try and get something to stir up.
And just
nothing.
I
mean, it could be off the wall knocks and bangs and disembodied voices, and then like a light switch done.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, Farrar is more. It seems like it's a slow and steady slope that it just kind of goes.
Like a pulse, maybe.
Yeah. And I mean, things will still happen after 4, but it's just like, might as well go home at this point.
Okay. All right.
I'm tired. We had a great night. Let's just go. But
let's go have a beer.
Edinburgh, that has always baffled me because it's just done. It's like, where do you go? Where do they go? What are they doing? Why does it just stop? That's how I don't understand it.
Smoke break.
Something. That's a long
all
smoke
the ghosts out back.
I'll try that next time. I'll go outside.
Jonah Jones from Jones Paranormal Research. JPR, we're getting a little long in the tooth here, so we'll start to wrap things up. If somebody was, or actually, if somebody does have a haunting in their house, are you the type of organization that will go investigate people's homes?
Yeah, if they want us to.
And best way to get a hold of you
is Facebook.
Facebook, okay.
But I will say, I'm a very straightforward guy. I'm gonna tell you right off the bat, if you want me to do that, there's a good chance it could make it worse, and then it's up to you from there to decide.
Why do you say that? Because
we're instigating it.
So you're an instigating group?
No. So what I mean is, you get stung by a wasp, and then you realize that there's a wasp nest, and then you go ahead and you knock that wasp nest down, and then you get stung 4 more times.
Okay, I kind of get what you're saying here. So you're not. because you're investigating, because you're drawing attention to it.
Yeah.
That's why it's.
You feed a stray cat, and it starts coming around more.
Okay.
Yeah,
I understand.
That's the whole theory behind that.
Okay, let's for the person that may have something going on in their house, maybe before they call you, what's your best piece of advice?
Ignore it.
Really?
Yep.
Why is that?
That's just something that worked for me, and it still does with attachments. I get attachments every now and then. So does Johnny.
Who?
Sorry.
I'm kidding. I heard Johnny again, and I just went with it.
No,
Sorry.
So it's confusing because I got Johnny on my team, and then there's Johnny Hauser. So I met Johnny on my team. We both, for some reason, get attachments, and we've learned that ignoring it seems to work. So it's kind of, again, like the stray cat. You ignore it, it's going to go find somewhere else to find food.
Okay, that's fine for now. What about the person that, they've been in the house for 20 years, weird things have just happened, like keys disappear or whatever. What do you think they should do? Just still ignore it, or
ignore it, and if it gets worse or doesn't stop, put it in its place until it's your house.
Okay.
Unless it's a place that you're temporarily at and it's not your place, then I don't think you have a right to do that, because that is kind of their home in a way.
So if you're renting a house or something.
Or say it's a business or something.
Okay.
And you're just an employee and you get bugged when you go to the bathroom or something, light flicker, who knows,
Great, the ghost is watching me when I go into the bathroom. Every day at 10:30, by the way.
One thing that's always haunted me is my mom. She passed away in 2011. I hope she goes away when I do things.
Have you ever thought about that? I'm glad I'm not the only person that's ever thought about that. Because, yeah.
I mean, please, that'd be the most comforting thing to know that
Grandma, need about 10 minutes of privacy right now.
Yep. There's water in the fridge and then the faucet.
Just I don't care what you do, just don't do it here for 10 minutes. No, I've had that same thought.
Yeah.
I really have. Jonah, I appreciate you coming in today. You guys have anything coming up here in the near future?
We do have an event that we are co-hosting at Farrar. It is the Farrar Halloween Bash, the annual. They do it just about every year. It is $35 a ticket to get in.
What happens at it? What does $35 get you?
$35 gets you a history tour. Get to learn a little bit about the history of Farrar. Sir William might even give you his special tour. Not sure.
Does he have his pants off or something in the special tour? What's special about it?
He came up with this great tour. It's actually a walk you go on around the property, and he gets very, very in detail with it. He, uses your senses and your sight, your smell, your hearing to understand points of view. Okay. And it's really a great see-through. I
was really hoping he did it without his pants.
maybe on a private tour.
Tell him you heard someone say that.
I will.
And I just want to know what he says.
Okay, I will definitely let him know.
All right, so 35 get you a tour.
Get you food. We'll have pizza and chili.
That's a great combination on an investigation.
Oh, yeah.
Are there working bathrooms?
Get that methane going.
It was just swamp gas. That's all it was, swamp gas.
Yeah. No, there are working bathrooms at Farrar. We also are bringing back the isolation room for it, which has been an ongoing thing for probably the last year. It's where you go and sit for 10 minutes by yourself in the boiler room, which everybody wants to be a part of. So
you know what? I'm starting to hear more and more about the boiler room. That's interesting.
It is very interesting. And the way we have it set up is you are in a doorway and a chair. So your back is completely exposed. You are 100% exposed with a multiple views from an IR camera or a DVR system.
I was gonna say, could I like if we were going to do isolation, could I just go stand out in the boiler room and look around?
I mean, yeah, but you won't see much. It'll be dark.
Well,
the lights are off for suspense.
I can see in the dark.
I need you.
I can see things the human eye can't.
There'll be door prizes. There's 4 of us.
Sir William's pants.
Yep, that might be one of them. Four of us co-hosting. Ministers of the Paranormal. Or I think that's how it goes. Moth. That's what they are.
If you're going to shamelessly plug something, get it right.
I know. I probably screwed that up. Heartland Paranormal. Myself, Jones Paranormal, and then CNH Paranormal are all hosting.
Is that a show?
Ministers of the Haunted. I did it.
Okay.
Got it.
Is it a podcast or a show or?
No, these are all teams. All four.
No, but what's the thing they're doing there?
Just it's a Halloween event.
Okay. No, I guess it sounded like you were setting up like a show or something.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. And then, food,
That's my
all
bad,
that,
anyway.
isolation room, little history tour, door prizes, and then from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. is a investigation free roam. So you get to go around the building. You'll have 4 teams there with equipment. You get to see equipment. If you've never seen it, you get to experience what it's like to do the investigation. It's going to be a good time.